Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to address you at Diocese of Gloucester Clergy Conference. My name's Rachel De Souza. I'm the Children's Commissioner for England, and my job is to protect and promote the rights of children and to bring their voices to the heart of government, to Prime Ministers, Ministers, Opposition, Lords and Commons. We want children's voice right there, and to those who lead public services and work with children in public services. Now, I do this by using my three superpowers. First of all, I always have to get a response from government. If I write to government, they have to reply on an issue about children. I have the right of entry to enter any public place where a child is. For example, youth prisons, mental health wards. I'm regularly down in Kent where children are coming across on small boats. And I also have the ability to collect any public data on children, and woe betide any government department or minister who tries not to give me that data, because it's a statutory right of mine and I absolutely must be given it. Before becoming Children's Commissioner, I was a teacher for 32 years. I was a head teacher for 20 years and a trust leader. So I ran a group of 14 schools in Norfolk and Suffolk, and particularly schools that were from underserved, disadvantaged, if you like, areas, with a real specialism in turning around those schools. And I decided to become Children's Commissioner because I could see at lockdown the massive impact on children from those communities, and that what we'd done before wouldn't work again. We needed to do more to try to make sense of their lives, help them thrive, put things back together. Working with and for children means I constantly see joy in my role. I'm incredibly lucky. So recently I held the first ever Festival of Childhood at the Young V&A in Bethnal Green with hundreds of children and the adults who make decisions on their behalf. And I wanted to use that particular event to celebrate the joy of childhood and to stand up for the sanctity of childhood and how we need to protect childhood, to protect play. It's a special, fragile, precious thing that's actually under threat, and it needs people to stand up for it. And my goodness, it goes so quickly, so it matters. One of the harder parts of my role is visiting children who are in youth prisons. I visit all of them. I talk to these children about conditions in these places, about what their lives were like before, and what their hopes are for the future. Always so sad to me when I ask them when they were last happy at school, children in prison. It's always age 10 or 11. We need to think about that. And I'd like to say I see justice in the youth justice system, but sadly that isn't the case. A system that was therapeutic, that was rehabilitative, that genuinely helped children who've done terrible things become the adults we want them to be. Now that would be justice and is worth working for. So look, I want the clergy of Gloucester to be as ambitious for children as they are for themselves. And do you know where I think you could start? In one of my recent huge surveys, I've heard from 1 million children in my surveys. We asked them, who thinks the people in power, the adults in power, listen to them? Only 1 in 5 children felt that the adults listened to them. So my challenge to you today in Gloucester is start listening. You'll be surprised by what you hear. And look, you will also really help children and young people by listening to them. I know there's great work going on already in Gloucester, but we can always do more.